Time moves through human hands, yet human hearts rarely move with time. Most regret is not born from ignorance, but from trusting what should have been refused. Type 1. The people who wear faces instead of character. Never trust those who change voices when power enters the room. A borrowed personality eventually demands to be returned. Men and women without inner law will borrow laws from whoever frightens them. Politeness is often rehearsed cruelty, waiting for an occasion. Most people practice kindness only to negotiate later. Respect that depends on witnesses is not respect. A person who fears being seen more than being wrong is already unsafe. Discipline cannot live inside a performer. Never mistake self-control for goodness. Many control themselves to control others. The one who studies reactions more than conscience will choose betrayal calmly. Time exposes the difference between nature and disguise. Character is heavy. Masks are light enough to switch daily. Never trust light people in serious seasons. A mind that survives by imitation dies by panic. Silence unsettles those who have nothing beneath their speech. Most betrayals begin as impressive manners. The one who avoids discomfort will also avoid loyalty. Never trust comfort worshippers with fragile things. A person without boundaries will resent the boundaries of others. Self-worth irritates the dependent spirit. Never place trust where envy is hiding behind courtesy. Mortality frightens performers. They need applause to forget the clock. Time does not applaud. It only asks for proof. Never confuse charm with evidence of soul. The one who lies about small identities will lie about large obligations. A borrowed ethic has an expiration date. Never trust what expires when tested. Type 2. The ones who speak beautifully and live poorly. Never trust those whose words arrive dressed better than their actions. Speech can be ironed. Behavior cannot. Most people hide laziness inside philosophy. The tongue often becomes a shelter for an undisciplined body. Never follow a voice that the hands refuse to obey. A person who explains life instead of building life is negotiating weakness. Talkative natures fear the labor of becoming. Never trust explanation addicts in decisive hours. Time punishes the gap between promise and movement. The one who loves to be understood more than corrected is dangerous slowly. Never place future inside a talking present. Words are generous because they cost nothing. Behavior is honest because it requires payment. Never trust unpaid truth. Most betrayal sounds wise before it acts foolish. The one who flatters progress will escape when progress demands sweat. Never trust flattery with responsibility. A beautiful sentence cannot carry a heavy season. Time is allergic to poetry without scars. Never trust scarless wisdom. The one who fears directness will hide inside language. Never confuse gentleness with avoidance. Many avoid to survive unexposed. Actions do not fear daylight. Only intentions do. Never trust fearful intentions. Most people hide inside tomorrow because they failed inside today. Never build trust on postponed courage. Type 3. The people who cannot stand alone. Never trust those who require constant agreement to breathe. Dependence eventually becomes anger toward independence. Most people call loyalty what is only need. The one who cannot endure solitude will not endure truth. Never trust needy hearts with serious boundaries. A dependent spirit follows whoever reduces responsibility. Never confuse attachment with devotion. Many attached to avoid the mirror. Time weakens those who cannot hold themselves upright. Never trust fallen people with rising seasons. The one who blames loneliness for failure will blame others for loyalty. Independence offends the dependent eye. Never trust offended eyes. Most betrayal is committed by those who feared standing without a crowd. The one who survives through groups will die through groups. Never place trust where identity is plural and conscience singular. A person without inner center will rotate around stronger gravity. Never trust rotating people in stable chapters. Need makes people humble before it makes them cruel. The one who fears personal effort will fear personal accountability. Never trust effort cowards with private dreams. Time is a narrow bridge. Dependent minds travel it with panic. Never hand the bridge to panic in hands. Self-discipline is solitary architecture. Never trust those who despise solitary architecture. Type 4. The ones who enjoy confusion. Never trust those who benefit when things remain unclear. Ambiguity is often business for hidden motives. Most people delay truth to keep advantage warm. The one who fears definition fears exposure. Never place trust in undefined territory. Confused people sell confusion as patience. Never confuse patience with fog. Fog protects predators. Time respects clarity more than harmony. The one who calls boundaries aggression is already preparing escape. Never trust escape builders. Most betrayal begins as a complaint against precision. The one who dislikes direct questions will dislike honest answers. Never place trust where questions are forbidden. A mind that lives in half meanings will die in full consequences. Never trust half people with whole life. Clarity reduces profit for dishonest comfort. Never trust profit that hates daylight. Most people hide intention inside complexity. The one who complicates simple duties is unsafe gently. Never trust gentle complication. Time simplifies every conspiracy. Never build trust on what time will simplify painfully. Type 5. The people who fear discomfort and truth. Never trust those who treat correction like injury. Growth humiliates the fragile ego. Most people prefer pleasant prison to honest wilderness. Never trust prisoners with keys. The one who avoids hard conversations will avoid hard loyalty. Comfort makes people polite before it makes them irresponsible. Never confuse calmness with strength. Many are calm because they surrendered early. Time does not comfort, it interrogates. Never trust surrendered calm with interrogated seasons. The one who fears inner discipline will fear outer obligation. Most betrayal is laziness defending itself seriously. Never trust serious laziness. Discomfort is the price of seeing clearly. Never trust those who refuse to pay for sight. A person allergic to pain will also be allergic to responsibility. Never trust allergies with future. Time remembers what comfort tried to forget. Never place trust in forgetful nature. Type 6. The ones who live without inner boundaries. Never trust those who enter lives like open doors. A person without personal law becomes a law to others unwillingly. Most people resent limits because limits reveal size. Never trust size haters with self-worth. The one who mocks boundaries will mock loyalty later. Open doors invite storms and thieves equally. Never trust stormy openness. A mind that cannot say no will say yes to betrayal. Never confuse flexibility with emptiness. Emptiness bends easily. Time bends empty people into shapes they deny. Never place trust in denial architecture. Boundaries protect identity from appetite. Never trust appetite where identity should live. Most betrayals are cravings wearing human names. Never trust cravings with private destiny. Type 7. The people who trade in secrets. Never trust those who collect information instead of character. Secrets become weapons in patient pockets. Most people call intimacy what is only surveillance. Never confuse closeness with inventory. The one who asks many questions and offers little truth is unsafe quietly. Information addicts feed on the lives of others to escape their own labor. Never trust feeders with fragile memory. A person who enjoys hearing confessions will enjoy selling them. Never place trust where discretion is entertainment. Time converts secret traders into lonely monuments. Never become a monument through careless trust. A long chain of grounded truths about trust and human nature. Never trust those who respect mood more than principle. A person who needs to win every dialogue will lose every moral. Most people reveal themselves not when angry, but when unobserved. Never trust what hides from private hours. The one who blames the past for present habits is renting excuses from mortality. Time does not rent, it collects. Never trust renters with collectors. Never trust those who hurry relationships and postpone duties. Appetite runs, conscience walks. Most betrayal is running life, escaping walking truth. Never trust runners with slow destiny. The one who fears accountability will memorize grievances instead. Memory filled with blame has no room for loyalty. Never trust crowded memory. Never trust those who love gifts and hate friction. Friction is the grammar of real character. Most people fail grammar tests calmly. Never trust calm failure. The one who fears being corrected will correct others through cruelty. Time corrects everyone without cruelty, only with consequence. Never trust those who cannot endure consequence language. Never trust people who require ignorance to remain comfortable. A person who hates questions will also hate witnesses. Most betrayal prefers darkness because it fears simple daylight. Never trust fearful darkness. The one who treats boundaries like insult will treat loyalty like burden. Time turns burdens into judgments. Never trust those running from judgment clocks. Never trust those who admire discipline from a distance and sabotage it nearby. Envy is often proximity disguised as concern. Most people betray the future because the future embarrassed their present. Never trust embarrassed present with honored tomorrow. Never trust those who demand trust instead of earning it. Demand is the accent of weakness. Most weakness becomes tyranny when refused. Never trust tyranny seeds. Never trust those who speak of change yet negotiate every condition for it. Negotiated growth is postponed identity. Time does not wait for negotiations. Never trust waiters with moving seasons. Never trust those who fear solitude. Solitude is where conscience trains. The untrained conscience becomes educated cruelty. Most cruelty is well-dressed and well-pronounced. Never trust pronunciation with destiny. Never trust those who cannot endure directness. Indirect people escape responsibility through language corridors. Time collapses corridors eventually. Never trust collapsing architecture. Never trust those who blame pain for the shape of their character. Pain reveals shape. It does not create it. Most people hate mirrors more than mistakes. Never trust mirror haters with honest boundaries. Never trust those who survive through agreement instead of conviction. Agreement expires. Conviction matures. Time matures what is real and humiliates what is borrowed. Never trust borrowed maturity. Never trust those who collect confessions and offer performances. Inventory hearts calculate slowly. Most calculation ends as rational betrayal. Never trust rational cruelty. Never trust those who treat limits as prisons. Limits are measurements, prisons are choices. Time measures everyone without negotiation. Never trust those negotiating measurement. Never trust those who hurry pleasure and fear responsibility. Pleasure is loud, duty is quiet. Most people choose loud life and inherit silent regret. Never trust loud inheritance. Never trust those who cannot hold one identity across seasons. Change is honorable. Inconsistency is appetite lying about growth. Time respects change and punishes appetite. Never trust punished nature. Never trust those who fear being defined. Definition is daylight wearing simple clothing. Most predators fear simple clothing. Never trust complicated predators. Never trust those who speak endlessly of trust. Real trust is economical with its name. Time is economical and merciless with proof. Never trust nameless proof. Closing, quiet truth. A lifetime is long, yet the years feel brief when the wrong people occupy them. Time does not remove unsafe trust. Human courage must do that work. Most people discover too late that discretion was personal responsibility, not social optimism. The clock keeps every receipt, and self-awareness decides whether the remaining years will be ruled by appetite or by character.